Hello again, everyone. This is Lou Rossetti, the Blue Ridge Reporter, speaking to you in the early evening of November 17th, 2011, at a time when Occupy Wall Street is taking a new and more dramatic turn. This is a story that is ideal for television news. And being a former television news reporter, that's well known to me, but you don't need to be a former reporter to know that. The crowd is spreading and surging and seething. It's an ideal video for the news people to convey into your living rooms on your TV screen. There's the hint of violence, there's a hint of danger, perhaps a crowd out of control, the police response, all the things that you can imagine might go into a dramatic pictorial TV news report. There are many people in the crowd, or multiple crowds actually, to interview by the TV news reporters who can stick a microphone in someone the world has never seen before, and they can be on television and perhaps on television screens around the world, telling us what is on their minds as Occupy Wall Street supporters, or where Occupy Wall Street is going to go, or what it means, or why it's there and its significance. And the TV news reporters will select the snippets of interviews for you to watch on your TV screens, based largely on what is most dramatic, what is most provocative, what is most compelling, what is most likely to get you to watch their newscasts. Because those snippets will have been selected from many, many interviews that were done, and then they can be presented to you. Now, some, of course, are done live, and you take your chances when you interview somebody, but those interviews might have been done off camera in advance to get a sense of what the person is going to say, and then the reporter will say, well, I have Joe Smith here who would like to say blah, 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 and then you interview Mr. Smith. Then there'll be the political spin-off regarding the Obama administration, the Democrats, the attempt, some will say, to gin up, to get excited the Obama base, that this is being orchestrated, Occupy Wall Street, through Obama surrogates. There'll be discussion about the socialist influence, perhaps, even the communist influence, perhaps. And of course, the talk shows, radio and TV, talk all about this from every conceivable angle. The Republican response, to my observation, has been done largely through media surrogates. I haven't seen Republican politicians, office seekers, Republican office holders come out strongly in opposition to Occupy Wall Street, to be judgmental, to be strong. The Republican Party fears being the party of no against Obamacare, no against compromise on the deficit reduction effort, and it also fears being the party of harshness. So the Republican office holders and the Republican candidates, as I've seen them, have been somewhat tentative, though that might change as the dramatic events escalate, if you will. So television is about pictures. Ideally, you do a television news story by finding the pictures, take the pictures, and then enunciate the description of the pictures to follow the pictures, or to go back to the studio and write the story to follow the pictures. The content of the story follows the pictures. You don't start with a content, then hope there might be pictures to follow. It works in the reverse way because television is a picture medium. And in fact, most people that I've seen, or many people I've seen that use YouTube, spend a great deal of time to get some kind of video on YouTube, when in fact if content is the key, then you're not going to have a lot of interesting video. You might just have one aging gentleman sitting in front of a picture of a Christian schoolhouse talking to you at length. Though the story will be well covered, there will be one aspect of the story that won't be covered, and that will be the deception, even the lie, the misconception, perhaps in a more gentler phraseology, that is constantly put before the American people, and that is about our so-called precious democracy. Democracy as a governmental concept is never ridiculed. It's assumed. It's assumed it's as good as fresh air. No one ever questions democracy. Occupy Wall Street is, in fact, democracy in its roughest, crudest, unrestrained, unleashed form. Democracy can be quite ugly. But a lot of the ugliness of democracy usually is hidden inside a voting booth, where people do things in our so-called democracy to vote themselves benefits or programs or money simply by exercising their vote in what has devolved to be, in practical fact, in the United States, a democracy regarding our form of government. In actuality, in constitutional fact, the United States is not a democracy. The United States is a republic. And you can find that in Article 4, Section 4 of the United States Constitution. There's only one political figure that I've ever seen who consistently refers to the United States as the old republic, and that's been Pat Buchanan. I haven't known any other person to speak of the United States in that way, at least in the mainstream. So let's not forget that this is the democracy unfolding in its worst form in the current situation regarding Occupy Wall Street and other locations. This is exactly what our founders attempted to avoid and protect against by Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution, saying that the United States would be, in fact, a republic where the rule of law, fixed, predictable, continuing law, which cannot be violated or overturned simply by the whims of the crowd. That is to say, property rights, etc., would all be protected. There's more to say about this. Let's go to the next video. This is Lou Assetti, the Blue Ridge Reporter.